Hey y'all, it's story time with Tiffer. Doomy edition, part 2, the spookiness. I'm not going to use the accent today, not because I don't need to practice, oh Lord, I do, but because this story takes place off season. So a little back knowledge for you, Doomy. When you're a traveling Rennie, or even a Rennie that lives close to the festival, usually about a month, sometimes more, sometimes less, you can pick up some side work, to fill your pocket while you're waiting for fair to start. And in this case, I had worked a number of years doing the gore effects at the Museum of Torture. So gore effects is one of my specialities. It was actually what I excelled in theater makeup in college, and I've continued forth with it. But I'm digressing, as I often do. Thank you, attention deficit disorder, for making my stories non-linear. But back to the story. So, I was working in the Museum of Torture, and they had just gotten some new models in. And this was the year that I think they were opening the not safe for work section with the really graphic sexual tortures on the second floor. I don't think that part of the museum's open right now. There were some safety concerns. But I was on the first floor in the cell, second to the last. If you actually go through the festival and you go into the torture museum, you'll know which one it is. Now, at the time, it was set up as a food torturing room. And so it had all the diabolical tortures that they would do involving food, mostly during the Inquisition, but, like the Italian fork and stuff like that. But they had just gotten a model in, and he was white as a ghost, did not match what they were putting him on, like his torture device and his wounds did not correlate, so that's what I was there for. And I had an extension cord running from the front of the building to where I needed to work. And normally there are multiple people working in there. And on this particular day, it was just me. Now, the reason there's usually multiple people there is because there's something in there. And the owners had told me it demands blood every year. And they had gone down the list and told me, how one guy almost got decapitated. Another guy had a saw thrown at him and had a huge gash on the top of his head. And there were a bunch of other incidences. And I was like, yeah. I'm not scared of no ghosts. Ghostbusters rock. So I'm in there by myself, and I had just sat my airbrush down in the lip of a barrel. And if you've ever seen a whiskey barrel, it has like an inch and a half lip. So anything that's in there is secure as can be. And I walked across the room about 4 feet to go to my box that had all my paints in it, because I needed, I think, if I remember correctly, I needed corpse rot and deep bruise to do some effect on this guy. And next thing I know, I'm looking down at my flip-flopped foot, and my airbrush is vertical over the nail of my big toe. I'm in pain. And I go to pull it up, and it's stuck. That's how hard it went. It went right through my nail bed. And somehow, my airbrush was not only thrown at an impossible angle, but it came down with such force that the needle pushed through the metal of the head of the gun all the way through my foot, all the way into my flip-flop. So I had to take the gun apart, left the needle in it. I went to first aid, which thankfully was open, had them extract it, had them clean it out because I was in barefoot, walking through dirt to get over to them. Told them I'd go get a tetanus shot, hope I don't die later. Then went and told the owners, and they had a good laugh about it. I'm like, no, you don't understand, I ain't finishing this work unless you have someone in there with me. And they did, because they knew. And it's a different environment. When there are multiple people in there, whatever's in there just don't mess with you when there's a group. But if it can pick you off solo, it absolutely will. It's pretty malevolent. Like, there's times I've ran to the second floor to go get something out of storage, and I'm like, leave me alone. No. But yeah, so that's one of the spookiness. The Magic Garden's hell haunted. Off-season, stuff just appears tied in the trees. No one's putting it there. But like stuff that patrons lose, you'll find it tied to the top of trees where no cherry pickers going, no people. Sure the hell ain't the squirrels. But yeah, that's today's spooky story. There's some other ones. I'll see what I can dig out of my skull. Anyway, Doomy, you have a great day, and I hope you like this story. Bye-bye.